Hi guys, it's Tamara. I'm back with another video today. We're going to just jump right on in. Okay guys, I want to get some things out of the way first, and that is thank you so much for those of you who are already subscribed to my channel and participate. I totally love getting your comments and your feedback. I know I say that every video, but it is true, and I think you should know how much you kind of keep the channel going. So thank you so much for that. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I encourage you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button over there. That way you can be here for when I post new videos. And I also listen to a lot of what you guys say, and I ask for feedback and suggestions on what you guys want to hear. So I am a therapist by trade, and I'm always looking for people to come to me and be like, hey, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? And if it's something that's in my realm of expertise, you betcha, I'm going to talk about it. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I welcome you to my channel. We're going to talk about something that an awesome viewer of mine suggested, and it is JT Facts. I'm going to point you out, JT Facts. I'm going to talk about what's called, you ready for this one? Okay. Atychiphobia. Atychiphobia. You can try to say that 5 different times fast. Atychiphobia. Atychiphobia. It's so hard. All right. I'm going to put that over here for you. Atychiphobia. If I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, JT Facts, please correct me, but I think this is correct. I don't know. I think it is. Atychiphobia is the fear of failure. It's a very serious topic. I'm actually making light of it now just because the word is extraordinarily interesting. But we're going to talk about the fear of failure. I think it's important that we do. So the benefits for you today in this video is that I'm going to mention a few things that you guys probably understand, and you're going to understand a little bit better with this video, but I want to mention it anyway, and I'm sure you can come up with these on your own, but just in case you need some validation or confirmation, I'm going to bring up some things that I think creates a fear of failure in yourself and within yourself. You're also going to learn about the definition of self-efficacy, and I'm sure you already know that as well, but I just want to give you some validation today. So let's go ahead and jump on in, all right? So atychiphobia, or the fear of failure, is basically the whole idea that you are going to fail. No matter what you do to prevent your failure, you're going to fail. That's the whole idea. Now, it's important to keep in mind that atychiphobia, or any kind of mental health condition that ends with phobia, it's important to keep in mind that a phobia is something that just doesn't go away because you want to will yourself into getting better. It's called a phobia for a specific reason. A phobia is something that is sticking to your life. It sticks with you, right? It's obsessive, it's chronic, it's pervasive, it's unmotivated by your desire to change it. Right? So in other words, no matter how hard you may try to change the behavior or the fear, it's still a phobia because it's something that's happening on the inside of you, right? There's an organic, internal, biological, genetic influence. And yes, environment and environmental influences do influence phobias as well, right? Because there's this whole behaviorist idea that we learn our responses to our environment. Okay, we learn our responses to our environment. And so sometimes a phobia is developed because we've had experiences that have taught us how to react to it. Okay, so let me give you an example. OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, it's both biological and genetic. When somebody is obsessing and constantly ruminating and thinking about something, let's say germs, and they compulsively wash their hands every day and lotion, and they're back and they're washing again, right? Now, what makes the behavior difficult to erase with effort is that there's a biological component. It's a genetic disorder based on anxiety, based on the way that the person thinks about things, the way that they perceive things, right? The way that they process things in their mind, how they think about something, right? That's all biology, how they feel about it. It's an organic disorder that has come from within, right? And it's being exhibited behaviorally by the washing of the hands and the pacing back and forth to the bathroom and to the sink and hand sanitizer, right? All of that is organic, it's internal, and it's being expressed behaviorally. And I don't want to miss my main point. I want to keep you guys on track. So what makes it difficult to change is that it's biological, right? While environmental influence kind of helps to cement that, which makes it very difficult to undo, right? So somebody validating your experience of being afraid of germs, right? That only cements the disorder even further. Somebody who thinks that they're loving you and caring about you by giving you hand sanitizer all the time to use, or giving you one of those sanitary napkins to wipe your hands with every time, right? That's kind of cementing and making even more firm and rooted the disorder or the phobia. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. It's a learned response to things, right? When somebody submits something by validating us or helping us to kind of further get wrapped up into that disorder, it then becomes a learned response to that stressor, and the stressor is germs. Okay. So the learned behavior is, I'm just going to wash my hands 1,000,000 times, right? All right. So let's get into atychiphobia. If I said that right, atychiphobia. Let's get into the fear of failure. All right. So I'm going to give you guys 6 things that I think causes the fear of failure. All right. Let's start with family roles. So we've been talking about families for the past month, 3 or 4 weeks already, and we're going to continue our conversation until, I'm sorry guys, ignore that sound in the background. We're going to continue our conversation on families until January the 1st. So we have a lot of progress that we need to make in terms of discussing this topic. But I have talked about family roles, and I'm going to put that video right up here for you so that you can click on that and check that out if you missed it. But family roles, I think, have a lot to do with our internal feelings of failure or success, right? Either way. So let's go down family roles really quickly. There's the scapegoat, there's the mascot, there's the lost child, and there's the hero. All right. 4 important family roles: the lost child, the scapegoat, the family hero, and the mascot. The mascot is the family clown. It's the person who hides all their emotions and fears and phobias and anxieties beneath humor, right? They're the funny person, right? They are the Jim Carreys of the family, right? But underneath, they're depressed and they're suffering, all right? That's the family mascot. The family hero is the child who went to college, got married, had children at the right time, got a really good job in New York City in a big bank. Their life is completely perfect, right? They hit all the milestones, boom, 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 without any issues. All right, that's the hero. The scapegoat is the child who gets blamed for what's wrong in the family unit and system. The child gets blamed and gets labeled and kind of gets pushed to the side and is typically very ignored. And what's the other one that I didn't mention? The lost child is the one who doesn't have a clue as to what they want to do with their lives. They're kind of ignored, they're quiet, they're shy, they're inhibited and introverted, and they don't know what to do with themselves. So what do? They hide, right? And they feel lost and confused in their world. They don't know what they want or what they want to do. All right. So family roles have a lot to do with our fear of failure. When you are placed into a family role, you are learning. Remember that learned response that we have as humans? We kind of learn how to behave based on how our environment responds to us. And I'm going to put that up here. So we learn based on how our environment responds to us. So if we have a child who is the lost child, for example, and we've been taught and we've learned how to go in the corner and be quiet and don't say anything and kind of be invisible, right? Then we might have an internal reaction to that, right? A child who is the family hero may have internal feelings and deep-rooted feelings of a fear of failure because they're the hero. If they make a mistake, if they do something wrong, the family is going to disown them, right? Or that hero then becomes the scapegoat or the lost child or the mascot, right? So fear of failure can really be deep rooted in family roles, all right? The next one is biology environment. So we just kind of talked about that at the very beginning. Fear of failure, in my view, is environmental, but it is also biological, right? So some kids are just born naturally with a modest mindset. Now, there's a lot of psychologists who would probably argue with me on that one, but I honestly do believe that there are some kids who are very modest and they kind of come across as if they have low self-esteem, even if they were praised as children and loved and supported, they still kind of have this mindset that they are not worthy or good enough. So environment and biology, when those two things merge, right, it's really hard to undo them. And so atychiphobia, or a fear or phobia of failing, can occur. The next one is learned response. We just talked about that. You can learn how to respond to your environment based on how your environment responds to you. So if you're in an environment where you're told you're nothing, you're told you're never going to make it, you're told you're just like your dad, you're told you're just like your mother, or you're told, hey, nobody's ever made it in this family, what makes you think that you're going to make it, right? You learn to kind of see yourself that way. And so then, you kind of carry throughout your life this view of yourself that, well, if I do the wrong thing, I'm going to fail. Or if I make this step over here, I'm going to fail as well. So the fear of failure can result from that as well. All right, the next one is self-fulfilling prophecy, right? When you get people telling you you're not going to be anything, you're never going to be anything, don't try too hard, nobody's ever made it before. Oh, that's ridiculous. Don't try to become a singer. You're never going to make that, right? Those kind of condescending, rude type statements, right? Or believing that because you took a different direction in your life that you're going to end up a failure. That's another issue, right? A self-fulfilling prophecy says, here's a label, here's what I think you're going to be, and eventually you begin to live up to that small expectation that somebody has set for you, all right? So the fear of failure can stem from that self-fulfilling prophecy. The next one is perfectionism, or OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, or obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Stick around because we're going to talk about that one too. Obsessive compulsive disorder, or obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Both of those things have two really important components. One is obsessions and the other is compulsions. All right. So when you have those two things merged together, you have obsessive compulsive disorder or obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Okay, I'm going to put the acronyms up here for you. Individuals who are perfectionistic, they're obsessive, they're compulsive, they can definitely create within themselves atychiphobia or fear of failure, right? They can definitely create that. Why? Well, because they are obsessive and they have a fear that they're not going to make it, that they're going to fail, that they're not going to be anything significant in their life. And so because of that internal dialogue that they have, or that negative self-talk, right? That polarized thinking, that black and white thinking, right? Because of that, they can develop within themselves that fear of failure. And people with obsessive compulsive disorder and obsessive compulsive personality disorder, they struggle with that a lot. They're always afraid to fail, right? All right, so let's continue. The last one is parental influence, and that's number 6. Parental influence can definitely cause a fear of failure or a phobia of failure. The whole idea is this, that parents, as they're raising their children, every single thing that a parent does has some kind of influence on the child from birth all the way up until late adolescence, right? Especially those early years. Infancy and early childhood is so significant for children. I think we fail to realize how significant it is. But anything that a parent does can negatively influence or tarnish a child. And so the way that a parent responds to the child when they are needed, the way that the parent talks to the child, right? You talk to them like they're a failure. You treat them like they're a bother to you, right? All of those things can cause an internal sense of failure. Thank you so much, JT Facts, for that. You are awesome. I think it's a great topic, and I'm glad you pointed that out. This is so important for this time of year, holiday time, because Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's is often spent with family, and that family dynamic is very difficult to maneuver and deal with. So I'm sure that a lot of emotions come back to you. It comes flooding in, fear of failure, fear of being judged, all of that, fear of arguments, triangulation, confusion, pain and hurt and trauma, feelings of abandonment. All of those things come up around this time. So that was a great topic, JT Facts. Thank you so much. Thanks so much, guys, for being with me. Again, I encourage you to hit that subscribe subscribe button. Stick around with me by hitting that subscribe button. If this video was helpful to you, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and I encourage you to share it with other people as well. I had a client come in today and she said, you know what, Tamara, my sister watches your YouTube videos, and I started sharing it with my entire group of friends, and hey, we watch your videos back to back. And I'm like, oh, that's so humbling. Thank you so much. So if you know somebody that would benefit from this, I encourage you to share it. I will see you guys really, really soon. If you have something else you want me to talk about, let me know in the comment section. Bye-bye.